Oh. Oh. Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. Does not the earth support the man that is engaged in digging it? It is proper that we too bear with those who wrong us. This is one of the teachings on forbearance from Tirukkural by Tiruvalluvar. Meaningful Mornings is training in becoming more reflective. Like Tiruvalluvar. When we see the earth, we see nothing. When he sees the earth, he reflects on how he should be with others, how others are with us. Being reflective is required to be a disciple, to be the Prince Arjuna that is now listening to Bhagavad Gita. Being a disciple is one who is activated in supporting the earth. Swami Tejomayananda shared with us, our first mistake, he used the word mistake. Yesterday I used the word ignorance or forgetting. Our first mistake is feeling that we are not the Atma, the spirit. And since we don't feel we're the Atma, we do feel we are the Ahankara, which in English is the ego. Our second mistake, we don't feel we're the individual, we feel we are all of our relationships. I am a father, I am a brother, I am a friend, I'm a teacher, I'm a student. And this is why I shared with all of you, our focus is not on the symptoms, but the source. If I remember that I am the spirit, there can't be any symptoms, particularly attachment. When Sri Krishna tells Prince Arjuna not to grieve, this includes moha, bhaya, shoka. The grieving is a shoka, but that's only there because of the fear. The fear is only there because of the confusion. The nature of the finite is to change. There's no need to depend on this. And your nature is infinite. We should depend on ourselves. This teaching begins with verse 11, chapter 2, and continues for a total of 20 verses. We're now on verse 12. Na tvevaham jatu nasam, na tvam neme janadipaha, na cheva na bhavishyamaha, sarve vayamataf param. The first quarter, Shri Krishna is telling Prince Arjuna, tu. Tu here means indeed, or listen carefully. Na eva aham jatu nasam. There was never a time in the past that I was not. This is the translation. Shri Krishna is sharing, I was present in the past. And through this one quarter, Shri Krishna is now taking Prince Arjuna to who he really is. In the middle of chapter 1, when Shri Krishna spoke, this was logistical. I've put your chariot between both armies. There's Bhishma and there's Drona. At the beginning of chapter 2, his words were cultural. You're to be an Aryan. This is unbecoming of you. Now his words are philosophical, that I am not just your charioteer. I am not just your cousin. I was there in the past, and he's not conditioning the past. He's not saying I was there 50 years ago or 100 years ago. I was there in the past. Na tvam, na ime janadipaha. And you were always there too, tvam. Janadipaha and all of these leaders of the world. So I was there, you were there, all were there. Whose pronoun is being missed here? You. As in your name, your identification. If Prince Arjuna is there, and Sri Krishna is there, and the leaders of the world are there, we are too. We were present in the past. Now think lots. This obviously means you were present in the past, not as this body. This body is changing. This body is dying. There is more to you. Whenever Shri Krishna is addressing Prince Arjuna as Tvam, be sure to internalize that to this applying to you. These teachings are unconditional. Na cheva na bhavishyamaha. And he says, I will also be present in the future. There will never be a time when I am not present. Shri Krishna is sharing that he is the Atma. He is, Prince Arjuna is, leaders of the world are, you are. The Atma is of the nature of Sat. Sat means existence. So think logically. Was existence in the past? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Will existence be there in the future? Thumbs up or thumbs down? See, I'm using the word logically. If there was non-existence in the past, could existence come from that? That's illogical. And suppose existence goes away, where will it go? Even non-existence has to exist. The technical meaning of sat, trekalepi tishtati. I'll say it slower. Trekale means all three periods of time. Past, future, present. Api tishtati is present or exists. Our spirit, when I say our, I mean everyone's, the same spirit, is of the nature of existence. How can one appreciate existence? It was in the past, and the present, and the future. Prince Arjuna is grieving because Acharya Bhishma and Acharya Drona, etc., are not going to be there in the future. Shri Krishna is sharing, their bodies won't, but they were there in the past, present, future. They are more than their bodies. You are more than your body, just like Sri Krishna is. Sarve vayam ataha param. All of them will continue even after now. Bhishma, Drona, the leaders of the world. Our grief is not for others. Our grief is for ourselves. Please think lots about this. I'm only verbalizing what we're thinking. We're in denial of this. When someone we care for, someone we love, is sick or passes away, we're less concerned about them. We're more concerned about how will we continue? How will I live functionally without them? They cook for me, they drive for me, they look after this life matter for me. How will I live without them emotionally? Seeing them, waking up with them, holding their hand, talking to them. Our grief is not for them. Our grief is for us. Extending this further, we're not afraid of dying. We're afraid of dying without the articles and beings around us. If we all died with each other, would we be afraid of death then? Suppose I died with my wife and my kids and we continued. There'd be nothing to fear, right? There's lots to think about in terms of death and change, which is why we're moving slowly through Bhagavad Gita, from 1,000 mornings to 2,000 mornings. From inspiration to application. Yesterday's application was quite important to me. I had asked all of us to take a sankalpa, to make a commitment to harm the environment less, to help the environment more. I read those who reflected upon this and have made that commitment on our website. Like the next car you're going to buy is going to be an electric vehicle. Another seeker shared she's going to take a minor in environmental science. Anyone who's in school, that should become mandatory to have some component of your education about the environment. I've thought lots about this and I've come up with how I'm going to help the environment. I've not come up with how I'm going to harm the environment less, how I'm going to help. Over the summer, I work more actively with our youth and young adults and evolving adults, J-Chicks, Chicks, and CSKs. I probably interact with 1,000 of them. So in every camp, every retreat, I'm going to dedicate at least 1 hour on the environment with them. So that becomes 1,000 more people who know about ahimsa, to be sensitive to this earth that we live on. So that's how I'm going to help. All 500 of us have to engage in this, not reflection adventure of the day, but reflection adventure of our life. Built into the word environment is me. If there's no environment, there's no me. Your application for this morning. I want you to feel that you have no choice. Have the bhava, the feeling that you do not have choice. And reflect on that. Shanti, shanti, shantihi. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be happiness.